Oh my goodness. I am so excited for you guys to hear from Cindy. She has been doing something super incredible. We just got off a three-way message. Well, it was a Zoom with her first person from LinkedIn and that's interested in the business. It was a nurse and she was Marnell. I just know like if it's not her, it's going to be somebody. So Cindy, tell us at the end of January, you kind of had this come to Jesus moment. And can you just share with us what happened in your mindset? Because I really feel like what you just, what you're going to share with us is so valuable. And then how this is translated into your LinkedIn and how you're getting so many people connected.
Okay. Yeah, at the end of January, of course, my month, I started Make Wellness on in August. I started from the beginning. I was all in. I totally believed, I still do, but my business just never took off. So I don't know why I waited so long to do this, but at the end of January, I sat down and said, okay, God, I'm not doing what I should be doing. I need help with why am I not being successful, because I should be. And one of the first things that came to my mind was I was being an employee instead of a business owner. And so, we have great leadership and they tell us what to do and they send us all the things. And I was going through the motions and I was just doing that and I was not treating it as a business. So that's the first thing I changed. I went back and I looked at last year to see how many reach outs I had and how many people I talked to. And then I also reviewed really in depth January and saw that, I was consistent in reaching out, but I wasn't reaching people. I didn't have any goals written down. I wasn't going back and reviewing my days to see what worked and what didn't work. So I've just changed all of that. I review my goals every day. I know what I'm going to do. I have my reach outs ready. I try to have my posts ready because life gets crazy. And if I don't schedule them, sometimes it doesn't work. So, um, yeah, I've just started treating it as a business and not treating it as a business, but started acting like a business owner instead of an employee.
I love that. And I think so for everybody that's hopping on, I just got off a call with Cindy and her first LinkedIn connection. She's doing this LinkedIn strategy, but it really started at the end of January with this mindset shift that she just shared, which is really, really encouraging. And I told her, I said, I want you to go live on our team page, but I want you to just share, just before I hop into the leader call, just can you share with us like what you're doing with the LinkedIn strategy that's working? I mean, you've really struggled with Facebook, getting anybody interested in the business through Facebook, through Instagram. Like you're just, you were running into dead ends with that. And so you just almost like wanted to give up and you felt really stuck in your business. And I love that you had this kind of talk and come to Jesus moment, with yourself at the end of January and you started shifting some things. But from that, you have a strategy for LinkedIn that makes you feel confident. And so share with them what that is, because I feel like a lot of us are, Carrie just started this, but I think what you're doing, Cindy, is exactly right on. So tell us a little bit more about your LinkedIn strategy and what you're doing.
Okay. I actually started LinkedIn in 2017. I took a Bob Holly course on LinkedIn, and because the people on LinkedIn are business minded, and that's what they're looking for. So you can reach out to them, you can cold call them, and they don't think anything about it. Whereas Facebook is totally different. You can't do that. And so affiliates is, I'm looking for customers and affiliates, but I've just been raised my entire life in a entrepreneurial family and business minded family. So that made sense to me. And I got, I still wasn't in the first year, I wasn't having a lot of success, but then talked with Bree, and when she got me hooked up with Rose and Laura, and got my language better, and have had phenomenal success at getting people to respond. And Rose kind of tweaked with me and Bria as to how we need to do it, and some things I was doing wrong, and it's made a world of difference. But yeah, people on LinkedIn don't think too much about it when you send them a business invitation, because that's what they're there for.
Yeah, I love that. And so what we've learned is, instead of you sending the video, at first we had the reach out language, which we'll put in the comments, exactly what you say. And then what you're doing is you're inviting them to a 15-minute discovery call to just see if this would be a right fit for them or not. So we're not sending them a video. And so I think the reason why I wanted you to share this is, I think this is a strategy, not only that we need to be, I'm going to start this week, but I think if we have people that feel stuck in their business, this is absolutely what we need to do. We need to go back and say, hey, listen, I want to tell you about my friend Cindy. She has been having success on LinkedIn, and this is what she's doing. Would you want to try this with me? Is kind of what I'm thinking for us to do. So, anything you want to say before I stop the recording, Cindy? For somebody
One
out
thing,
there, yeah, go ahead.
one thing I think that has helped, and I don't know if it will in every case, but the fact that I didn't, it's easy to say, can I send you a video? That was safe because I stayed behind the computer. Can I send you a video? But that's where I was losing everyone. So if you can get on a call with them, with the magnificent Bree, and she's a great teacher. I was sitting there trying to absorb it, but if you can get on and talk to them, where they can actually meet you and realize that they like you, it's kind of like Wes Buelig said. They need to like you and want to do business with you, instead of just sending them a code video, and kind of have some dialogue with them. And if it's not for them, it's not for them. But at least you've made a connection with them, where I think they're going to be more receptive to look at more information.
I love that. Yeah. Well, Cindy, I'm just so proud of you that you didn't give up, because I know that you had moments where you wanted to. So we're so proud of you for that. I love that, just, in a lot of ways, I mean, you're just flipping the cards. And we talked about, like, you're going to find the ace. The ace is coming. So Marnell is, that we just met with, is just one of many that we're going to be able to help. And I mean, it's just incredible. She's a nurse. She, is very business minded. And so you've encouraged me to go back on LinkedIn and start my own strategy. So I'm gonna do that this week. So thank you so much for sharing. And then
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna, yeah, we appreciate you. You're awesome.
Thank you.